Now guys, do you love energy drinks? Red Bull is the Austrian success story. Hello my fellow soulmates and food lovers, and welcome to another episode of Eileen's Kitchen Stories. Well, Austria really is a beautiful country and it's known for its culture and beautiful scenery. And because it is visited by over 20 million people per year, it is perfect for food facts videos for you guys. Now the Austrian cuisine, or as it is also called Viennese cuisine, is a mixture of all the culture of the Crown lands, which is Austro-Hungarian Empire. Bohemian and Hungarian traditions took precedence in the cuisine, but as well as the region of the Alps and northern Italy. The Austrians took the recipes from the Crown lands and made it their own, and these are now the specialities of the Viennese cuisine. Traditional Austrian cuisine is based on 5 different styles: frying, boiling, braising, stewing and roasting, and especially with paprika. And you could say the typical Austrian menu is based on the letter S. Sausages, schnitzel, strudel and Sachertorte, of course. Maybe you've heard about Mehlspeisen, the so-called flour desserts. You may think that it needs to have some flour in it, but actually that is not the case. In the earlier days, Mehlspeise was called anything that didn't have meat in it. In general, Austrians really love sweet stuff. They consume about 37.7 kilograms of sugar every year, and only 1% of Austrians reported that they really didn't like nibbling at all. Some very famous Mehlspeisen are, for example, the strudel, the palatschinken, the Uchteln and many, many more. Let's talk about Kaffeehauskultur. Kaffeehauskultur means coffee shop culture. And why is that? Because coffee shops originated in Vienna, and they now serve not only coffee but also cakes and light meals. The oldest coffee shop is still in use. It was founded in 1824 and is the Café Fraunhofer, and it's actually said that even Mozart was performing there. So there are about 40 different types of coffees that are served in Austria. The most famous one is the Wiener melange, which is a mix of just half of coffee and half of milk. And then you have the Einspänner, which is a strong demi-tasse, and it's topped with whipped cream as well. And then you have the a little less famous Biedermeier. And this is coffee with whipped cream on top and some apricot liquor. Oh my god, Austrian cakes. Austrian pastries in general are delicious, and you should always have a slice of a good cake when you have a Wiener melange. One famous example is the Linzer Torte, and this cake originated in Linz. It's a lovely pastry. The recipes go back to 350 years, but even at that time people weren't entirely sure how to make the pastry crust, so there are tons of different recipes for it. And don't even get me started on one of the world's most famous chocolate cakes, the Sachertorte. If you want to know how to make it, you can check out the link up there and make it yourself. Oil is an important export commodity for Austria, but not just any oil, but pumpkin seed oil, which is steirisches Kürbiskernöl, and that is super special because it's made from roasted pumpkin seeds which are pressed and then you extract the oil. The earliest confirmed records in Styria of this pumpkin oil is dating back to February 1697. Wow, that's really, really long. My favorite topping, my most favorite topping for any pumpkin soup. Watch out, autumn! And then there is the Wiener Schnitzel. I think it's famous all over the world. In 2014, 146,500 tons of beef and veal have been consumed in Austria. The Wiener Schnitzel is thin as a page, breaded and then fried. And you can get it at Fiegelmüller, which is one of the most famous restaurants for getting the Wiener Schnitzel. Fiegelmüller was founded in 1905, so quite an old establishment with lots of tradition as well. And even though the history of this piece of veal meat is not entirely sure, it has made its way all over the world and is famous everywhere. And if you want to know how to make a traditional Wiener Schnitzel, then you can click on the link up there and check out the recipe that I made the other day. Guys, have you ever been to a Heuriger? The Heuriger is the epitome of coziness in Austria. It's the name for a tavern where you can get new wines which are served in the alternate months under a special license. Originally, it was just a simple open-air tavern on the winemaker's premises. So you were invited to a Heuriger and then you brought your own food and tried the new wine. And this is thanks to the Emperor Joseph II, who in 784 allowed all residents to have on their own premises establishments to sell their homemade juices, spirits and wines. No food was allowed to be sold because they didn't want it to have competition for the restaurants. Nowadays, the taverns are often situated as a distance from the vineyards and you can get food and drinks there. Austrians love their beer just as much as we Germans do. The most recognized types of beer are the following. The Märzen, which is light in color and has a little bit of a malty flavor. Then the Pils, which has a slightly stronger color but is very, very hoppy in taste. Then wheat beer, which has at least 50% wheat malt. And then you have the Zwickel, which is unfiltered, so it's a slightly cloudy beer. Now guys, do you love energy drinks? Red Bull is the Austrian success story when it comes to the drinks industry. Dietrich Mateschitz, who is the founder of Red Bull, he got very inspired in the 1980s when he flew to Hong Kong and he saw that many people really being into energy drinks. He came back and then together with a Thai business partner, he formed Red Bull, and since then it has taken off. Dietrich has become one of the most wealthiest people in Austria, and he doesn't only live in Salzburg, but he also kept the headquarters of Red Bull in Austria. So guys, thanks very much for watching and I hope you did like these food facts. If you have other food facts, leave them in the comments below. I mean, have you been to Austria? What was your favorite dish? Also, if you like my channel, please subscribe for free videos every week, and then hopefully you'll leave a comment and you'll leave a like as well, and then I'm happy to see you next time. Bye!